versus Nikolai, a brown belt out of the 440 Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Ohio. Looks like neither of these competitors opting to sit. They both must be straight. Looking for some heavy hands right off the bat. We got Mike with a strong double, catching some front headlock connection. We'll see if Nikolai can get his hips out. That's going to be the real question. Can he win that hips out fight to get that guillotine? It's an arming guillotine. Very important you get your position on arming guillotines and you get your hips out. And it looks like the hips are square, so it's going to be a big arm fight, and your arm's also fighting their arm. If I were Nikolai's coach, I wouldn't advise him burning his arms out without first getting his hips out toward the camera, really strong, so that you have more room to get that good hand connection on the neck. And he opts to bail on it into the closed guard. Again, we'll see if he opts to work to isolate from the closed guard. Closed guard, very easy position to hold, but you aren't affecting your opponent that much. So it very much becomes an upper body versus upper body fight. We'll see if Mike can. Mike's obviously going to want to create that distance and start building his posture all the way to the feet. And it looks like Mike's kind of testing the waters on top here. Can I get up with good upper body connection? He's doing just the right thing. Have some upper body connection that can control distance as the top guy, that is Mike, to stand up so that it's harder for the bottom player to attack the legs when you do stand up. Nikolai here opting for a figure four from bottom close guard, which I've always regarded as a stalling position. But he is being very active about trying to catch that isolation, so I would not say he's stalling here. He's trying to get that arm crunch. Again, though, it's going to be tough with a full close guard just because your legs don't get to help you out that much with the arm crunch, but he's making me eat my words. He's making it work. He's gotten to this top lock position, gotten that shoulder out. If Mike isn't smart, there's some very good old school triangle setups from here that he's pretty close to, some arm lock setups. He's doing a decent job of stacking, but I don't know if I'd want to be stacking. I think I'd want to be getting my head close to the ceiling, getting my head high, popping that shoulder back out, going back to his original plan of getting to the feet with good connections. There he does a good job of cutting the angle in the appropriate direction and popping that shoulder out. And right away he's like, yeah, I need to go back to that well of the quote-unquote correct thing to do in a closed guard, which is to stand up. It's really the only way to truly open a closed guard, unless your partner's going to open it for you. And there he goes. Knee in the butt from standing is the only way the knee in the butt works, and it works to his advantage. Looks like he does almost achieves a pass. His foot is stuck here. And he's got the head, but Nikolai manages to get to his knees with this false half guard kind of position. If he can pop his head out, he's going to be back on offense. Mike does a great job of stepping behind, gets a little high. Got a scramble here that it seems like Mike's getting the better of, but Nikolai does manage to get back into that guarded position. Now with half butterfly. A little bit.
Mike, sprawl your right leg nice and low. Good. Now bring that right again. There you go.
Sorry, folks, had a mild equipment malfunction there. I'm back with you. We got half off the mats. We have Nikolai in his half guard, looking for that underhook, old school. Ooh, but Mike on top attacking that power half to the darce. Again, one of my favorite attacks to pass by attacking the front headlock. And I don't know if I'd have fallen to bottom. Oh, but he uses that darce attempt to make sure he ends up on top. His coach calling for him to take his time with these grips, which I think is smart. You're going to want to probably get past the guard so that you have a little bit more mobility to collapse that arm, and then you can come back and step into the guard or catch the legs and the hips. But he decides to give up on it, and we're back in this kind of false half-ish position. Nikolai kind of tries to pull him backwards, doesn't quite work out. Mike back on top in a passing position. Mike right away with the wrist pin, working those good isolations, which great fundamentals. If you can isolate while still in someone's guard, you probably should. The only reason we have a guard is to defend our upper body. And if you can access as the top player the upper body, you should be taking those opportunities. And Mike is taking the opportunities to threaten isolation submissions when Nikolai doesn't have super strong guards in. But now Nikolai has a very strong guard. He's got both his butterfly hooks. He has an upper body connection, head and arm pinch. He sits up looking for the front headlock. Mike does a good job, though, of keeping Nikolai on his back. right? Head height in that situation is going to be a really big deal, and it looks like Mike has that really drilled in. Mike again with that upper body connection to the pass, this time a little bit of a tripoding style, but it does give Nikolai the opportunity to catch that front headlock. I'd like to see, if I was Nikolai's coach, I'd like to see his head above Mike's in those attempts. Looks like Nikolai's getting a little submission happy and feeling that neck and wanting to sit back and squeeze, but he really needs to have his head higher than Mike's to keep those guillotine threats alive. And we're back, it looks like, not quite to the close guard. Nikolai trying to step over for a triangle. It looks like Nikolai's running some pretty old school close guard stuff, but he's making it work pretty well. Mike with a really smart little frame on the hips here, making sure that Nikolai can't move his hips, which is a key in close guard. Close guard really locks your hips down, and you have to be pretty good with it to move your hips, and hip mobility is a very important thing in being offensive, off your back, right? And Nick's doing a really good job of, Mike rather, on top is doing a very good job of keeping his hips square, keeping Nikolai's hips flat on the mat, which is going to really limit Nikolai's ability to attack him. And we have Mike going back to that standing option to open the guard, but Nikolai's threatening the leg entanglement, making Mike think twice about it. Mike with a nice throw-by pass there attempt, doesn't quite work, and we end up back in close guard. This is one thing, when athletes have a lot of time in the close guard, it builds this habit, this muscle memory. I hate that term, but builds this muscle memory to get back there. And as a passing player, it can be very frustrating because although we haven't seen Mike under huge threat in the close guard, it is a hard guard to get out of, right? And here we go. We have Mike splitting the legs to force the half guard and then attacking the front headlock. Ooh, but he lost position here a little bit. Nikolai able to come on top, pause, and we're out of time. Our winner is Mike.